What is wrong? What is wrong? Welcome to episode 116 of the STS Guys. Wow, I fucked that up.
You did. First of the new year, we messed it up, baby.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Do it again.
Do it again.
Replay. What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 116 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey, I'm Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
It's been a week. It's officially the first episode of 2020.
Yeah.
What?
New Year's, bitches.
Nice. But Wasted already in the chat. Hello, Ed. Thanks for coming to support us.
Yeah. Ed, what's going on, man?
I like the idea of this being, it's been a decade.
It's,
yes.
Not just, it's been a week.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
Like I said, I called this one Year in Review.
Decade in Review.
And then I didn't even think about it when I was setting that shit up that it could be decade as well. So
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
The year 2000 doesn't seem that long ago.
Okay.
It was 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah. So can I tell you a story, though, that I realize that a lot of people on the news don't know how time works. So somebody wrote on the news, they were like, twins born a decade apart. Because one twin was born in 2019, and then the next one didn't pop out until 2020. So instead of being like, twins born in two different decades, they're like, it's a decade apart. Like, no, sorry, that's not how fucking time works, buddy.
It's funny that you bring that up because I know we were doing this episode, Decade in Review, and I'm like, all right, let me just go to like a random website. What do they say are best things in the decade? And the starting point was 2000. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. That's not a decade.
That's the wrong decade. Yeah.
It is a decade. It's not this decade.
It's not this one, though.
That's the last one. So, yeah. So we're going to talk about probably things of 2019 and then go into stuff from, what was that, 2010? Fucking 2010 to 2019. Like,
crazy. It's a little specific. So we might be crossing over, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this was made in 2009 or not.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to tell you right now, I can't remember most shit that happened in 2010. I bought a house. I think that's about the major life event that I can remember from 2010. I met Jeremy in 2010. Those are the two things that I know that happened back then. So this is going to be a fun fucking ride.
Yeah, the MCU movie started around 2009-ish, right? So close.
Yeah.
We've seen almost the entire MCU form over the last decade. That's kind of cool.
Hey, you know what the best thing to come out of the last decade is? The STS Guys Podcast.
Yeah. That's right.
I know them.
I know those guys. We're friends.
If we can make it a whole decade, just think about that decade in review, right?
Oh, God.
We can talk about the cereal eating incident.
Can we do it, guys? 2030.
You know I don't have a fucking. You don't know I don't have a fucking life. You know I can do it. So.
That's awesome. Okay. It was New Year's, so Happy New Year's to everybody. Do we have any crazy New Year's stories, or was it pretty? Go ahead, Scott.
You guys will be impressed with me. Okay. I actually stayed up till midnight.
Whoa!
Yeah. The last few years, I've just been like, fuck New Year's, and racked out at like 10. Right? Like, I don't give a shit. This year, I was finally like, I'm actually gonna stay up and. Like, stay up past midnight. And I know because my neighbors went batshit crazy with some fireworks at midnight. It was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, it's midnight, apparently. I was watching TV. I literally waited about 10 minutes, was like, I'm fucking tired. Turned it off and went to bed.
Midnight, okay, I'm going to sleep.
Yep.
See you later.
I heard the fireworks show. We're good.
It's the same thing over here, but over like in Texas, the big ones are legal. So like you have like, doing like M80s and bottle rockets and like the ones that shoot up in the sky that explode and like
that's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot this is your first New Year's in Texas.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the same way it was growing up. Like there was two things you couldn't buy at the fireworks stand, and that was bottle rockets and Roman candles. But all you had to do to get those was drive a couple miles out of the way to get onto the Indian reservation, and you could buy those there. So yeah, like I'm used to like the big firework things, but apparently, here in Arizona, where our extent of fireworks is fountains and only fountains, they still got enough to make it go crazy, and illegal fireworks always are up there. So
yeah, it's one of the pitfalls of living in a dry state is things light on fire pretty easily here.
I'm gonna sound really bad, but we don't want to turn out like Australia. So
ouch.
Sorry guys, anybody who listens from over there, my bad.
Yeah.
Good day.
Hearts out to Australia. That country's got some
Barbie.
serious fires going on.
Yeah, they are now the shrimps on the Barbie.
Real quick, before we get too started, at the end of the podcast, I have a treat for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I was going through some different stuff. Found
Yes.
something from the archives.
Yes.
All right.
Jeremy's always got something good up his sleeve, so I can't wait to see what this is.
So stick around to the end.
Stick around to the end. I said a video that we've talked about for a long time.
Oh God.
I have it.
All right. So is 2020 first of 2020 the first time? Is it the video I'm thinking of, Jeremy?
Probably the video you're thinking of.
Okay.
I have a specific video in my mind as well right now.
Okay. I'm excited for this one because if I think it's what I think it is,
Drop a hint. This video predates Nate on the podcast.
it does.
Okay, I definitely
It
know what
does.
this is now.
Yeah,
Cool.
it does. I've been wanting you to find this. I am so happy.
I found it. And then second thing is I need Larry to declare. I said so last year, for the STS guys, I said we declared the year of the special guest. So Larry, what is this?
God.
Larry,
Well,
you're on the spot.
I got nothing. I did a shout out on Twitter, which bled over into Instagram because I screenshotted it. But we had a ton of special guests in 2019, right? We had my favorite, Goat versus Fish.
Yes.
Goat versus fish.
Tyler, who's in the chat from DC Figures and Collectibles podcast, he was on twice. Scott was on once. Like we had a ton of guests last year. That worked out well. You got to give me a little bit of time, and we'll deem 2020 the year of such and such. I just have no clue what that is.
So I'm planting that
The year of us making bigger jackasses of ourselves.
Well, I think that one's a given, Scott.
That just always happens either way.
The year of us embarrassing ourselves for everyone on the internet to see.
Yeah, I think interviews are some of my favorite episodes we do. I love talking to new people and kind of getting to know about them. So I definitely want to continue that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
we could try to do more interviews. It's
We-
hard though.
We
It's
got to try to beat our record of 2019.
Yeah,
Well, we definitely know that we got STCC on the table. So, maybe we'll do some more cons this year. We'll see. Maybe we'll hit Designer Con or ECCC. If Mezco happens to go there, like we were talking about last time,
that would be cool.
that would be sweet.
I'm gonna figure out a way to get to Funko Hollywood.
Ooh, yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Yes.
So that'll be cool.
So we'll see what happens in 2020, but either way, we'll be providing consistent content.
So I got a question here for you guys. Just thinking about it. Did anybody make any stupid resolutions?
No.
Anybody? Are we all on board with that? Because I deem this year is New Year, same me.
Wait. So New Year, same us?
Yeah, baby.
No, I do have to say though, it is funny because I go to the
New
gym
Year, who dis?
in the morning, right? And so gym is like I said, I go to gym at like 4:30 in the morning. So the day after New Year's, like 4:30 in the morning, there's like really no one at the gym. Like, so there's maybe like 10, 15 people like in this big old huge like 24-hour fitness. Like day after New Year's, kid you not, like said you would have thinking like hey, what admission for everybody, come on in. Like there was like hundreds of people there.
It's those resolutions, man.
So it's now 4 days in. How many people have given up? I'm gonna say probably 60%.
It's gone on the steady decline.
Yeah. And it's like, it was still within the first week of the new year. I think Monday it's going to go down a little bit, right?
Yeah, Monday. I'm curious on Monday what the crowd's going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully everybody stuck it out at least through the first 3 days of the year, which technically was only 2, probably, because New Year's Day, you probably weren't waking up early, so hopefully you can make it the first 2 days of the year. Otherwise, what's the point?
I don't know, dude. I've tried to go to the gym quite a few times, and I would consider myself a very average American. And 2-3 days in a row is about where I'm like, this is a fucking inconvenience. Like,
I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, this is not enjoyable for anybody.
This stopped being fun.
This was never fun.
Is that a resolution for you, Jeremy, or you've just been doing that? It's just like you noticed it was way more busy.
I've been doing that like probably over the last month and a half, 2 months, anyways. So
nice.
Yeah, awesome. Good for you, man.
Awesome. I think I'm finally going to get married this year. That's been a long-term thing. So
yes,
finally,
it'll be my first trip back to Arizona.
Yeah,
yes.
That'll be cool. Oh yeah, you need to do amazing. That too.
Yes.
Now that I did think of that the other day. I remember you were gonna maybe come for Phoenix Comic-Con like in May, like Memorial Day weekend, and then that didn't work out. But I'm like, it's getting damn close to Phoenix Comic-Con time again.
It's where has the time gone?
Right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like, did any of us do it? And I am so glad that none of us bought into that bullshit.
New year, new me, Scott.
Yeah. Nope. New year, same me.
I think at this point in my life, I am who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I don't have to. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm okay with myself where if I wanted to change something or improve on something, I don't have to wait for an arbitrary date like January 1st to do that. Like I can start something on February 23rd if I wanted to.
Exactly.
You're living your best life right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Live the best life.
My thing is, like I said, if I stand on the scale, I'm like, oh shit, I'm way too fat. Like I'll just start going to the gym. Like Jeremy, you said you started going to the gym before New Year's, and you're like, oh, I've been keeping this up.
It's because I got on the scale and said, wow, I'm way too fat.
Yeah, exactly. I've done that several times. Hence why the gym keeps getting money from me. But it's I just don't understand the need to wait till like, oh, I gotta wait till the new year and start a fucking resolution that I'll lose after a week. Like I want to try to pick something like I want to learn how to juggle chainsaws. Like that's going to be my fucking resolution. Because at least that way I can know it'll never come true. Like I'm not going to fill myself with hope for shit.
Now the new resolution is getting Scott to 2021.
With both hands.
Chainsaws.
Yeah.
If Scott survives, it's a year in success.
Yeah. Or if I'll give myself an accident. Like one hand's fine. I think I can live with one hand.
It's gonna be really hard to juggle those chainsaws with one hand.
Oh, and then you get like you got the hook, right? You flip it.
That might actually be easier, right?
Right.
Bring on the stump.
Get a little apparatus that helps me juggle. I don't fucking know.
Hey,
I don't know what this
get like a cup, right?
Yeah, this went in the weird. This went in the weirdest direction.
Instead of Scotty Too Hottie, you could be Scotty Too Stumpy.
Yeah. Okay. That new.
Moving on.
I was gonna say, how do I think I have to drop to change my name, but Scotty Too Stumpy might be a name on a future episode.
It might be taken.
Keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
Right
On
there.
Your StreamYard name.
Yeah, it might.
I was thinking you could change your
Instagram.
Oh yeah, your Instagram name. Scotty Too
Stumpy.
I don't know if I want to do that on Instagram, to be honest. I think I might get the wrong people.
Yeah, you might get a lot of new followers.
It's not the ones I want, though.
No. Well, and then, like I said, Scotty Too Stumpy has like a couple double entendres.
Can you send pictures of your stump?
I don't.
Smear some honey on it.
Yeah, I don't think I want a lot of people assuming the size of my junk, right? I'm sure everyone does.
Put a little sriracha on your stump and send me a pic.
Yeah. Okay, Nate.
Spicy.
Yeah. Larry and Nate are both now gonna get pictures.
ScottStump.com.
Yes.
Oh.
Scott Stump.
Hashtag Scott Stump.
Please do not make a dick joke in my name.
Scotty Too Hot Stump.
Don't trend a dick joke, please.
Hey, the domain Scott Stump is available.
What? How is that available?
That sounds just like a person's name, though. That one's not fun. You have to have Scotty Too Stumpy, or it's not good.
Stump is like it's
could be just a person's name. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That one I could be like, oh, I'm Scott Stump. You'd be like, all right, that's not funny. Okay, but if I'm like Scotty Too Stumpy, and they're like, oh, you got a tiny dick, like, yeah. Would you get that name in high school? Yeah, like it's. All right, let's move on to what we actually wanted to talk about.
How about stumpy2humpy.com?
That one's good. That one's good.
That is pretty good.
And Sir Stumps a lot.
Jesus. What the fuck did we get here?
I have no idea.
So it's been a good 10 years, right, guys?
Decade.
Yeah,
decade year.
It's been one hell of a decade.
So we thought to wrap up the 2010s, we'd run through some of our favorite pop culture things.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I think
sounded fun.
That, and then I think we should each also pick a moment of like personal, a personal moment that we've had, like a great, something awesome.
All right.
In this last decade as well.
All right. Cool. Good idea. We'll end with that one.
I'm gonna have to think.
Yeah, we'll end with that one, and then
that one. Yeah,
you can choose your perfect moment.
Cool. So how do we want to do this? We want to do categories, and we
so Nate, I know that you, out of all of us, have prepared. The rest of us didn't. We thought of the topic, and you were the only one to actually like consider some questions to ask. I'm going to put it on you at this point.
What's on your list, man?
What's on your list?
Since we all clearly love comics, and there's been a whole lot of comic book movies, I would say this has probably been the decade of comic book movies. We've seen the MCU become something huge, get owned by Disney, make 22 movies. We've seen DC kind of flop, do some stuff. We've also seen some other movies kind of come out that are comic book related. So I wanted to ask you guys, out of the last 10 years since 2010, what is your favorite comic book movie?
Ooh.
There are a lot of choices.
So
yeah, this one's tough for me.
This one's not going to be my first choice, but can I do an honorable mention?
Yeah.
This is really bad. So I'm going to say I got to give the honorable mention to Iron Man 2.
What?
It's not a great movie.
Really?
No. Let me explain my reasoning. Because it was the movie that truly set up the interconnect. Right? Iron Man 1 had the Sam Jackson at the end. I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. That didn't happen, right? Like, it wasn't until that second movie where that shit really all started to like intertwine, and they set up a bunch of shit for the future. Without that movie setting it up, we really wouldn't have the great interconnected thing, all the other movies. So I want to honorable mention to Iron Man 2. It wasn't a great film, but it set up something great.
Fair. Yeah, I can see what you mean. It started the interconnected universe of Marvel.
Yeah. So it started to connect the fact that, like you could bring in Captain America. You could make the Avengers because you started introducing characters around it with that movie, right? You had Black Widow finally show up. You had, I know they got rid of the alcoholism and switched it to him just dying, right? But still, they moved a whole bunch of like issues going into it that I think that worked out really well for setting everything up. So
DJ
Iron Man
Tony
2.
Stark, we got all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Got Black Widow is in that for the first time. That's the first time she appeared.
Yeah. I see where you're going. It had some important.
It had important moments.
Yeah.
You know what? There's something I never get tired of.
Uh-oh.
Scott literally just said it's the first time the Black Widow shows up.
Oh shit!
New Year, same date.
New Year, same date. Like that is literally a point that he was like.
I know. It's like something that when he starts talking about, I've got it stuck in my head. Even though he said it, I feel like I still need to say it.
No, what it is Nate has thought up. He's like, I've got some bullet points now, and he's going to run through his bullet points.
Thanks for calling that out, Jeremy. I was wondering if I did that again.
You know I love you, bro. You know
that's why we love you, Nate.
That's great. But Scott, you already said your honorable mention, so give us what your top pick is then.
So I have to do the two-parter, man. Infinity War and Endgame, right? Like,
yeah.
As much as I didn't want time travel to be the fucking answer or whatever it's that thing, like at the end of it, like that was the fucking culmination of the goddamn decade, right? Like we waited a decade for that movie, and it was amazing for what it was, right? That was like I said, that it was fucking 10 years of movies, all leading up to that one big moment to have all of them at the very end. Going at each other. The Infinity War ended with the snap. I love the idea that it just snap, everyone dies, fucking movie over. Like that two-parter. I'm gonna combine them, but those are my favorites.
Nice choice.
Definitely can't argue with that, man.
What are you thinking, Larry? Best comic book movie of the decade.
Just saying, definitely can't argue with that. So I'm gonna argue with that. I think that's an easy one to choose, but like we haven't redone our MCU rankings probably in like almost a year.
Yeah,
it might be time to.
I think we have 3 movies that we need to add to it.
Yeah, maybe after Black Widow. Maybe after Black Widow comes out,
that's a good idea.
We can do that again.
Plus,
but
now things have settled a little bit. It's not like so fresh, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Like it's been enough time from Endgame. We've probably seen it again. It's about time, but we probably should wait for Black Widow or do it right before Black Widow comes out.
Larry's answer is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp is what he's setting up for.
No, but I mean it's
a good one.
It's the most okayest MCU movie. No, but I can't do anything besides a Marvel movie. Sorry, DC. But my top Marvel movie when we did our rankings, my top Marvel movie for like the longest time is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So. Yeah.
I was going to say Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is still like a close second, but Winter Soldier's number one.
Yeah.
Still number one. Favorite comic book movie of the decade, hands down.
So I'm going to call out same directors for ours.
Yeah, which is cool too, right? Like because they did such a good job.
Yep.
It's definitely in my top 5 of the MCU.
Yeah. So let's move down. Nate.
Well, I'm gonna
Superman. Do you bleed?
No, I'm not going to go that way because that was still pretty bad. But I am going to go the DC route.
What?
I'm going to choose Joker because it was something I totally didn't expect. It gives me hope about DC again. I kind of lost hope for DC after Justice League and after Batman vs. Superman. Shazam was a glimmer of hope. Wonder Woman was okay. Aquaman
was a movie.
It's a little disappointing. It was okay.
That happened.
Aquaman was a movie.
But Joker being the last one out, being done by Joaquin Phoenix, who did an amazing job. They really got into the character study of Joker. He's one of my favorite villains in comic books, period.
They actually went into his idea of chaos versus having him have an agenda.
Yeah, or like a real world view. Like, how can you get a guy like Joker? How can you make a guy like that? And then, you watch the movie, you're like, okay, well, this guy's been fucked over by society a lot. So I'll just say Joker. It was a great movie. I loved it. I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray.
Are you looking forward to Birds of Prey at all?
No.
No?
So what I've seen of Birds of Prey, Black Mask is supposed to be the main villain, but I have not seen him in his mask. It's only Ewan McGregor. Yeah, and also it's Harley Quinn kind of carrying the whole movie. And I don't know.
But she has hyenas now.
But yeah, she does have the hyenas. Yeah. But it's
going to be another one of those things where you don't know enough about Harley Quinn, and then she's totally recreated herself in this movie, and she's got 2 girls that she hangs out with. It's another DC trope where we don't know part of the story, and she's kind of just jumped from one spot to another.
So my thought on this Birds of Prey, and I know this derails it, Jeremy, we'll get to yours here, but here's my thing is, they're like, hey, you know what got really fucked up and just didn't get, like, critically or reviewer audience, like, received well? Suicide Squad. Let's take a character from that movie and give them their solo movie. Like, wouldn't you want to, like, redesign? No one,
a lot of people liked Harley Quinn in that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She was like the one kind of okay spot.
True. And I agree with that. But I also agree with Scott. Like, the first time you get introduced, this character is in a group movie that didn't do so well.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they did with Batman versus Superman. They're like, okay, now we're going to make Batman and Justice League, but you don't really know much about this Batman.
Why does he kill people?
Yeah.
Why is that okay?
I don't know. Ed brings up a good point. Maybe he won't wear a mask for the whole film. Let's see.
They're gonna do the like.
Oh yeah, and then she's gonna ruin his face at the end of the movie, and then they're gonna make him wear the mask.
They're gonna do the thing where he gets his face messed up and he has to wear it, or it's gonna get grafted onto his face somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks like he's like into S&M, so it's probably gonna turn out to be like an S&M mask or something like that. That's gonna get grafted on there. It's not gonna be just like, I want to look scary and wear this fucking black mask. It's gonna be some stupid ass reason.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah, like it's going to be a stupid ass reason that he wears the fucking mask.
Well,
I guarantee. I call it now. It's a dumbass reason.
Kind of like Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom style, where trash is just attracted to his face.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm magnetic. Fucking. What?
This is all trash.
So, all right. So, Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy, go ahead.
Go into your movie.
Well, except I gotta say, I said the kind of the two-parter like Scott did, but. Are we doing here? Let me ask. Are we doing a separate movie, like basically favorite movie of 2010? Okay, so
I've got a separate category for favorite overall. This is comic book specific.
All right, perfect. So honestly, I'd have to say, I don't know. It's hard to argue with either the two-parter or Winter Soldier. Like it's hard to argue with.
Yeah,
those are great comic book movies.
So Winter Soldier, I'll say. Endgame, Infinity War, number 1 and 2. Winter Soldier's number 3 for me. Like it's still,
What I'll do is I'll actually go Iron Man 1, the first Iron Man. Just the fact of like they took a character that really no one gave a shit about. Like back in 2009, right? 2009, 10, whatever.
I think it was 9.
Yeah.
I think 9 was Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
I could be wrong. It's fucking 10 years ago.
I think it is 9. However, like I said, it's just to take a character that no one gave a shit about. Like it's fucking Iron Man. Like no one, like the general America could give a shit about Iron Man.
They didn't even know who he was.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
When you bring up the fact that I was like, oh, I want to bring up when they're going to address his alcoholism, and people are like, Iron Man isn't an alcoholic. I'm like, the fuck he isn't. Demon in a bottle. Like, come on.
And to take that story and forge that forward into like, basically what it ended up actually becoming, and just the fact of that's the first glimpse we get of Robert Downey Jr. Like I said, there's iconic people. Like we've had multiple people play Batman. We've had multiple people play some of these other characters. I can't imagine anybody else playing Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. did such a great job embodying Iron Man. I can't imagine another person doing just as good of a job.
I want Tom Selleck
as Iron Man.
Because
totally agree.
I say Tom Selleck because OG Iron Man looked like Tom Selleck. He did have the glorious stash and everything.
And I think to Jeremy's point, that might be why we don't really know who the successor of Iron Man is, really. There's hints, from Far From Home that it might be Spider-Man. He's supposed to be the new Tony, but he doesn't really want that role. He doesn't really fit into the role very well. So, like, I don't know. I think Disney's kind of like, okay, we're testing the waters. Who do we want to be the new leader of this team? Because without Cap, without Iron Man, they're kind of leaderless at this point. They need somebody to kind of step up and fill that leadership role.
Well, my question is, I guess moving forward, they're going to have to really prove why they need to have Avengers in the first place, right? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's
always a threat, though. There's always something out there.
Yeah.
I think the Eternals is going to be a start of something else, a new cosmic threat.
Galactus, baby.
Real quick, I said just for me being a huge Silicon Valley fan, it's gonna be hard for me to see Buff Dinesh.
Dude, he got fucking ripped.
Did you see Buff Dinesh? That picture of Buff
That's so weird.
He's like Captain America with ripping the wood in half now. Like, what the hell is with it? He got ripped.
To me, I hate to typecast people. That to me it's Dinesh. Dinesh from Silicon Valley.
I made the point too. Like, I can't see Will Smith in any other role that he plays. I just see Will Smith. Yeah, it's Dinesh, man. Like, I'm sorry, bro. And it's the same thing with the guy who played Weasel in Deadpool.
Oh, TJ Miller.
Yeah.
Anytime I see him now, it's like I still go back to the Silicon Valley role.
Yeah,
like I'm like that. Dude, that's who you are. Like, even when you're on the news for pretending that you found a bomb,
just like Thomas Middleditch in those Verizon commercials.
Yeah,
he's still Richard Hendricks.
Yeah. Well, and he even kind of plays like a Richard Hendricks character because he's all stumbling with his words.
Yeah. It's true. It's a great show.
Yeah. So, okay, Nate.
Nice.
I think we got this one. I'm gonna go a different route here. Because Ed brought up something about worst film. I'm going to pop it up here because I am going to go ahead and agree with Ed here. If we're going to talk about comic book movies, we talked about the best. Let's talk about the worst. And I am going to give it to Fant Four Stick. Does anybody have anything that you thought would be worse that ended up like, what was the biggest fail?
Biggest letdown
in comic book movies? For me, I'm going the Fant Four Stick. Ed, you called it for me. That one's on my end. Nate, I know where you're going, so spurt yours out.
I got a better one.
Oh, what do you got?
Did it happen this decade?
Go, Jeremy.
It did.
Go, Jeremy.
Okay.
Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh,
I forgot that one was post Iron Man. Wasn't
solid choice. But did you really have good expectations about that?
Yeah, 2011. I said Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. That movie was like the biggest pile of dog shit ever.
Yeah.
If anybody can explain to me the plot, I will give them $5. Coherently explain to me the plot of that movie.
It was horrible.
I don't think anybody can, Scott.
No.
I think that's why it wins.
Yeah, that one wins. Jeremy?
So,
but you say that's bad, but I still think the Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick, is just as bad as that.
I didn't mind the Fantastic Four reboot.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a little.
You're a liar. You are a liar, sir.
I said there was a lot of hate. But like I said, if I compare that to Spirit of Vengeance, like it looks like Fantastic Four should win an Oscar.
Yeah, I didn't see the Ghost Rider one, but Fantastic Four, it kind of falls in that Venom category for me, as people hated on it so much. It wasn't that bad.
It was really bad.
Like it had problems, but as a movie, like on its own, I didn't totally not enjoy it. Like I finished it. I could have turned it off.
But you probably paid money to see it.
No, I watched it at home. I don't remember when I watched it, but I was sitting on my couch.
Yeah, it was on HBO. You probably watched it on HBO.
There's definitely like a movie I had on in the background, but not really fully.
But if you watched it on HBO, you paid for HBO.
We're not for that specific movie.
I know. All right, so we've gone through the Nate. I have two guesses for yours. Let's see if I'm right. Is it Justice League or Batman versus Superman?
I'm gonna say. I'm going to say Batman versus Superman, actually.
I knew it had to be one of the two.
Because of what that movie represented and what it was really pulling from in the comics. The Dark Knight Returns comic is one of my favorite comics of all time. I love that story. I love the whole reason why. And the reason why Superman and Batman are facing off in the comic is completely different than what the movie showed. In the comic, Batman knows that he's basically preying on Superman's goodwill. Like, he won't kill me. So I've got time to kind of prove my point with him and try to get him, at least broken down a little bit. I don't know. There's so many things wrong with Batman versus Superman. The motives for the characters, the way they were portrayed. Lex Luthor.
The fact that you have Batman without having any lead up of that version of Batman, so no one knew like any of the motivations of this new Batman.
That's the first time we're introduced to the Batman in the new the DC EU. It's just like, what the hell? Wonder Woman comes in that movie for the first time. It's just like, what?
Out of like nowhere.
What is this?
Aquaman was in it for 2 seconds.
That's true.
But he was advertised as being in it. Yeah.
Unite the Seven, baby. Unite the Seven.
You put that as a worst movie over the Suicide Squad? That pile of shit?
Ooh.
I guess
one.
The only reason why I would say biggest letdown because I was expecting more out of Batman vs. Superman. After seeing BVS and Justice League, I knew Suicide Squad was going to be shit.
Yeah,
so
I was
like,
I went into Suicide Squad knowing I was not going to enjoy Suicide Squad.
I still think Suicide Squad was a little bit better than Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, Martha
that was so bad.
The whole plot of the movie hinges on the fact that they both have the same mom's name.
Yeah,
So
that fight scene was just a disappointment.
Yeah, so
you guys are forgetting about one.
I'm guessing, Larry, I would say, I know you're going to bust one out. What is yours?
The 2011 pile of garbage, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
Oh!
That was
I forgot that was in this decade.
I would have
assumed that was earlier, because
I Googled it, but yeah.
When it has that bad of CGI, I assumed it was early 2000s. Or late 2000s.
I mean, but it's a couple of years after like Iron Man and stuff. But no, like it was 2011.
I'm probably gonna get a cost. I didn't think it was that bad.
What?
No,
I didn't think it was that bad.
See
here, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it.
You have it on DVD.
Oh God,
he's gonna bust.
He's gonna go get it.
Oh God. He's gonna bust out a signed copy of the fucking
majority rules. It still sucks.
The limited edition.
So for anybody who, while Jeremy's gone before he proves his point, I don't care what Jeremy says. That thing was a pile of shit.
It was pretty bad. Like it's one of those ones that like I don't even remember exactly what happened because it's been so long. Like nobody rewatched it. Nobody's sitting around watching Green Lantern.
I'm gonna throw a hockey out here.
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse.
That was pretty bad.
Like X-Men Apocalypse was
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. I forgot about that one too.
I actually like Dark Phoenix more than Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
I just hate Apocalypse,
but it's still not good.
Apocalypse was like, we can't beat him, and then fucking Jean Grey's just like, I beat him. Oh, fucking Phoenix. That was literally a movie to promote the next movie.
That Samurai Wolverine movie was probably in this decade too.
Oh man,
that one was pretty bad.
The Wolverine.
So the director's cut of the Wolverine was actually pretty good, though. Yeah. I will say that when you go to the unrated one, that was actually pretty good. Yeah.
All right, Jeremy.
All right, show us why you think.
Why are you the Green Lantern super fan?
I can't find it, but like I said, I actually own the extended cut.
Oh.
Nice.
I actually purposely bought it
where there was more Hot Wheels RC car action.
I don't know. I didn't think it was.
And how wait, Jeremy? How do you stop a giant head coming into Earth? Do you use just anti-aircraft guns? Because apparently that's what works.
You know what? Compared to some other movies,
you know what?
No, if you could bring up the 1992 Fantastic Four, that's the worst.
Hockey's comment up on the screen. I said, X-Men Apocalypse.
You missed it. As you were looking, you missed it. I put that up already.
Yeah.
So we talked about that and how I said it was.
You just did a Nate.
Yeah, you did.
I couldn't do it. No, it wasn't a Nate. I wasn't actually plugged in and actually listening.
Yeah, so
that's true. All right, touche.
So,
oops.
All right, that was a good one. There's some really as great of comic book movies as there were. There's some bad ones out there too for the last 10 years.
All right. How about favorite movie? Just favorite movie.
All right. What do you got, Jeremy? You're talking.
You started it.
I grabbed it while I was over there.
Oh, good.
Boom. Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, damn.
The movie was fantastic. Like I said, I was almost tied, and they both have Leonardo DiCaprio in them. It was either this or Inception. I'm like, this one. I said this one just because it was actually based on a true story.
So it's funny that Jeremy picked that because I have two written down. I'm not going to show it because of give away mine. But I was debating which one I was going to pick, and Wolf of Wall Street was one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Fantastic movie. Way better than I ever expected.
It's fantastic.
It was funny. It was so good.
I've probably seen it like at least a dozen times.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
And it's a 3-hour something movie.
I think I saw it, but I fell asleep.
What the hell, Larry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I
is that the one where like he's? Yeah.
I understand the value of the movie. I understand the value of the movie, and the fact that it's true, which boggles my mind. But it was. I'm with Larry. It wasn't as entertaining. I get why people like it, but it didn't catch me. The where he's drugged out of his mind and tries to drive the car home scene is probably the funniest shit I've seen on movies for the longest time. But like the movie itself, I don't want to say bad because I understand why people like it. Like it's just not my thing. And let me go and I'll tell you why it's not my thing. Let me tell my movie.
What is your thing?
2014, What We Do in the Shadows.
Ooh.
Turns
that's a good one.
Just the whole idea of horror as comedy gets flipped on its, like everything about it gets flipped on its head. Super quotable. I love the movie. I watch it all the time. I am so glad it became a series in this decade as well. But yeah, it's that I think is probably the most influential movie for me for the decade.
Good pick.
And that's where I get the we're werewolves, not swearwolves. The whole thing, yeah. So
there's a lot of good movies from the early 2000s. I had to dig deep, but I found 2010, Scott Pilgrim versus the World came out. I'm going with that as my favorite movie of this decade.
Nice. That's awesome.
I might have an honorable mention depending on what
I was just saying. You just brought another one up for me, and but it doesn't work.
So the cool thing about Scott Pilgrim versus the World is that it was a comic book movie, but unlike anything else we had seen up to that point, and it was so much different. I think that's why it did so well, and it kind of opened the door for like these kind of quirky sort of comic book movies still being good.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's just
the style was
comic,
cool.
Very stylistic,
kind of like Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes,
it's kind of it just feels different while you're watching it.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
very different.
Scott Pilgrim,
great pick.
Yeah. And I have to say, the guy who made it, Edgar Wright. Anything he does is generally pretty fucking good. So, except for that Tintin movie, everything else I'm happy with.
So for me, I'm going to go with another comic movie myself. Even though I'm a DC loyalist, there is one Marvel movie that literally made me cry at one point. I'm going with Logan. For what Hugh Jackman represented as Wolverine, he was one of the first comic book movie characters. I was like, holy shit, that guy is a badass. And he represented
he was a beast.
He reminded me, even though he was taller, he reminded me of the old school 90s cartoon. And I've always really appreciated Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And Logan was just far and above anything I could have expected.
So
it's emotional. It's really deeply rooted in comic book lore, but it is just so well done.
Yeah, no, I have to give you some kudos, Nate, because I had forgotten about Logan when we go through my list, but it's Hugh Jackman is one of the characters that really took, or actors that really took that character and made it them, right?
Yeah.
He made that thing. When I think Wolverine to this day, I don't think of the little stumpy 5'4" dude. Mm-hmm. I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah, definitely.
And he still embodies the character. He hasn't played the character in the longest time, but he still does the rages that he's touring. This was 2 months ago. He's doing the whole musical thing.
Yeah,
and he did the like I said, someone was in the front row, and then he did the Wolverine rage face.
Yeah.
He did the berserker mode basically for a fan.
He just got so into it. I remember watching a recording of him doing sounds for Logan, and it's the part where he's running through the forest, and he is getting like so into it when he's doing it. He's like, rah, rah, rah. He's just like, you could tell he loved the character so much that he wanted to do it justice every single time he represented.
Not not to go through, but there's not many people that can do that guttural like yell, scream, growl thing that he does convincingly.
Yeah.
But when he does that in the movies, when he the claw thing, you're like, oh shit, like he's a scary man. Like I wouldn't go after somebody who could yell like that with knives in their hands. Just gonna say, he made the character believable. So
I almost picked Wolf of Wall Street, but since Jeremy did it, I went with Logan because I was debating between these two. I was like, I don't know which one I like more.
Well, like I said, it gives me pleasure that you also are a lover of Wolf of Wall Street because, like I said, it's
so good,
a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it is a fantastic movie to take a nap during.
Yeah. Oh, burn!
All right, let's change gears.
See Harley Quinn's rocking boobies.
Oh yeah, I missed that part.
Margot Robbie's in there.
Maybe I have to go back and watch that.
There's a line of coke off of her ass.
Yes.
Wasn't
one of the first scenes you see at the top of her head, at least?
It wasn't. Didn't like Jonah Hill have to go to the hospital because he snorted too much fake cocaine in that movie? Like, I think there's a story that he actually like
probably
sniffed too. He got like an infection or something from sniffing too much fake cocaine on the set of that movie.
All right, we got. We're 47 minutes in.
I'm kind of surprised. We've gone.
We need a couple good ones.
So let's do some quick shots. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Speed round.
How about best collectible? Since we're all collectors, best collectible of the decade. Scott's pointing to his Jurassic Park poster that's been signed
by Jeff Goldblum. Yep. 100%.
Yes, by Jeff Goldblum. Okay.
Jeff Goldblum signed Jurassic Park poster.
Larry's
100%.
pointing to his giant Dorbs Batman.
The Mega Dorbs Batman.
Yep.
Nice.
What can Jeremy point to?
Wait. Fat Man. The Blunt Man or Batman?
HQ.
Yeah.
No, the HQ Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah.
Signed Kevin Smith pop.
How about you,
Nate?
I can't grab it because it's actually over in my other space where I do photos, but the PX Sovereign Knight Batman from Mezco. It's the blue and gray.
Yeah.
I actually got it fairly recently, but I have fallen in love with it. I've done so many friggin' shots with it. I can't get enough.
Very cool.
Right. Good choices. All right. Next topic, guys. We're all gamers. So best game of the decade.
Ooh.
Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash Brothers for Larry, going with that Nintendo
Spider-Man.
love. Spider-Man for Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
I platinumed it, so like I said, it's
first platinum.
Yeah.
Shit. Now you're asking a loaded question for me here. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go with God of War, the most recent one. It was like freaking amazing. I love the original God of Wars, and this one reinvented the franchise, and I loved it. All right. That was a good choice. All right. Best show of the decade.
Breaking Bad.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with. I was gonna say,
I don't need to justify my answer. It's fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah. The first thing I thought of was Stranger Things, because it kind of just did revolutionized, like it changed the game for streaming too. Right, it really put Netflix original stuff on the map, which paved the way for Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Hulu, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go since Scott already said Breaking Bad. I will go Sons of Anarchy. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Although I do have to qualify. I think the first two seasons of Breaking Bad were before 2010. But
the show was
it bled into the
it's fine. And the majority of it was in this decade.
It's acceptable.
So I will add the qualifier.
None of us said Game of Thrones. Interesting.
I haven't gone
Game of
yet.
Thrones.
That was mine. He was about to say Game of Thrones. Really?
I'm going to pick Game of Thrones, even though I hated the last season.
Yes.
The show, I remember saying it multiple times when the show was in its like third, fourth, fifth season, like my favorite show on TV. I love that show so much. I was sad to see how it ended, but during its peak, it was amazing. All right, so we're gonna go with best console for the year, for the decade. I know this is kind of like a bad one.
So okay, let me guess.
Video game.
Let me go through this. Video game console. Let me go through. Nate, Jeremy, and Scott, PS4. Larry, Nintendo Switch.
Hey, you nailed it.
Yeah, that was a bad topic. Okay.
I called it. Does anybody disagree with my assessment?
Yes, I am watching Mayans. Mayans, like I said, it got crazy awesome this season.
Yeah, I know Ed and Jessica really like that. They post some hashtag thing on their Instagram that I don't understand why they're doing it, but I think there's a contest or something.
So I'm going to do another one.
Yeah.
You're, like I said, you're the one that actually thought of one, so it's on you, bud.
So this is my last category, so you guys might have to think of one to fill up the last 9 minutes.
We got Jeremy's last one, so yeah,
I'm going to say the best comic book series of the last decade. So you guys read comics sometimes?
Not really.
Maybe? Not really?
I got nothing.
There's got to be at least one comic book series that you've read in the last decade. You're like, that was pretty freaking amazing.
Absolutely not. Oh, okay, not fair. I read The Walking Dead. Like, I bought the first compendium thing, so mine's got to be The Walking Dead.
I was gonna say, like, most of the comics I love are the older ones. Like, a lot of the new stuff that hit just didn't really go. I guess I have to go with the Secret Wars 2, I guess, from Marvel. Like, there's not really the comics have been kind of the last few years.
Oh, so I'm a tie. Either between, because I've actually read all the issues, but I actually probably have to give the edge to Doomsday Clock that just wrapped up.
Nice.
It was
that was a great comic too. Ed kind of just stole mine. I was going to go with the DC one and then non-DC, but Saga from Image Comics, one of the most original and coolest comic book series I've ever read. It's like a sci-fi thriller fantasy. Great comic book series. If you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Going DC though, I'm going to say Batman New 52. I love that whole arc. It was great with Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo.
I've got an honorable mention. I did read Captain Marvel Kamala Khan. I read that. That was pretty good. And it was 2014. I verified.
So I think one of my favorite comic series doesn't count because it started in 2003 and the majority was in that thing. But Invincible was my favorite, like a recent, like modern times comic. But there's no way that I can claim that for the decade. So it's out. The last 10 years have been.
It's just a special shout out.
Yeah, special shout out. So Jeremy, we got
real quick before we do that. I said, how about iconic moment of the decade for you?
Yeah, this is one that Jeremy wanted to do earlier.
Like personal or like in the news?
Personal.
Okay, I want to start because I have mine.
All right,
I want to start. Creation of the STS Guys Podcast.
Fuckers! I feel like that's a given for all four of them.
I'm gonna go with mine before anybody else steals it. The first time the STS guys went as a group to SDCC and got approved for press passes. That was like, holy shit type of moment.
Yeah, mine's either that, tie with that, or the first time when we went to SDCC in 2013, because that was in this decade too. Like 2010, Larry had no idea how many times he was going to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
You went the first time, you're like, I'm going to come back to this 6 more times.
Yeah.
4 more times.
2010, I wanted to go. Me and my friend Matt, we had been talking about it, and it took us like 3 more years to actually like register for a member ID and stuff and go. So it was probably 3 years in the waiting.
There's a good 5 years of wanting to go before I actually got to go.
Right? So same for you, like almost all decade. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, I'm doing this all the time now. So
yeah, it was like 2015, 2016. I think it was my first time.
Right? People like to think about like, oh, well, what was I doing back in 2010? I guarantee you I was sitting around work thinking about how much I wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
So that's seriously like mind-blowing that I've been able to go more than once.
All right, Jeremy.
Well, mine's related to that same thing as well. Like, surprise, surprise. Like, it was actually this past San Diego Comic-Con when I got to ask the question in Hall.
I figured you were going to pick that one.
That was amazing. Like honestly, like
cool.
There's nothing else like it was like the perfect right place, right time. Like, and I have to actually thank Larry for that. Larry's like, "Hey, you should probably walk to that."
Yeah.
And then so I walked there, got in the line, and then ended up cutting the line, and then ended up just standing over on this one side, and then just literally like perfect right place, right time type of moment.
And it was one of those moments too where he rambled on, people made fun of him, ended up in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Great.
Special shout out, honorable mention to the Making Fun premiere in Hollywood that Jeremy and I went to because
that was
you guys went to a legit Hollywood premiere.
Yeah, like we were on the red carpet with celebrities for a movie premiere at the Chinese theater. That's one of those I never thought I'd get to do that in my life moments too. So thank you, Funko.
Yeah, definitely that was epic.
A pinch me moment.
Yeah,
is this for real?
Also in there, I had to throw in my first fun days that Larry took me to. Like
my first fun days.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
True, fun days is pretty rad. That's up there. All that I count that like in Comic-Con stuff for the most part, but it is the best part of Comic-Con.
Definitely makes me excited. Even though I said last time I was like, I might not go. The more I think about it, I'm like, man, I cannot not go.
Yeah, you're going this year. Don't fucking lie.
I gotta go.
It's almost time for hotels.
I know.
It's got to be almost time for hotels.
Yeah. We'll talk later. But we don't have to do anything, right? We already have our passes, right?
We just have to make sure we're in the
no.
raffle. Yeah,
we still have to get hotels.
We just need a hotel.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yup.
Nice. Well, it's been one hell of a decade, guys.
It definitely has. I am looking forward to another decade of us bullshitting like this.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I was thinking too, right? This is probably my favorite decade that I've had so far, personally, like life-wise and movie-wise and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to the 2020s. It should be equally rad.
I mean, let's think about this. Since we started, we've also had our first like major spin-off show. Here's to many more that are showing up.
Guessing there'll be another one before the end of the 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, we got like a lot of new starts going on right now too. So we have like a whole new MCU kind of starting. We have a new DCEU starting. You got Disney Plus, which is going to have its own new thing starting.
You'll be able to hear our You'll be able to hear our dumbasses talk about shit for quite a long time.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get through another 22 movies in 10 years through the MCU.
Oh, God, see's likely.
It's going to happen.
Yeah,
but now we have the Disney Plus. We have to do TV shows and shit too. Like there's some BS that we have to pull with it, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
Here's to you got the fingers crossed.
Thanks to all of our listeners over the last.
Our favorite part of the
best part of
you.
Yeah, the best part of the decade is the friends we've made along the way.
God,
it's true though. I mean,
it is true.
Great friends.
As cheesy and dumb as it is, we love our regular listeners, and
the interaction with you guys is probably the best part of the podcast every single week.
And the people we've got to meet, like Nicola's in the chat, right? Like Clint, Ed. Well, we haven't met Ed, but I'd like to meet Ed.
We need. I should say like met online, right? But like even the people in person, like
right. That's
running into all that.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to meet some of these people in person too, right? Our internet friends who become real life friends. And one day, Ed, we got to meet up with you and Jessica. That would be rad.
Yeah, agreed. We'll grab some drankies.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jeremy, you teased us with this video.
I did.
Yes.
I'm going to be like, y'all shut the fuck up. I want to see this video.
Oh, God.
There's multiple.
Oh, yeah.
Roll it, Jeremy.
Well, you got to give the.
All right, so
recap of what
we've teased this 100 million times. Like I said,
like it
took me forever to find it. I actually ended up finding it. So way back in the day, like I said, one of our very first sponsors of the podcast was this little company called Frisky Britches.
Save yourself 10%. Code STS Guys.
FBSTS.
FBSTS. Yeah,
code still works.
It does.
And so I've always said I wanted to kind of share this video. You know what better way to wrap up the decade than to share a few clips of me and Scott talking about women's panties.
Yeah.
Scott, you want to enable screen sharing?
I have screen sharing up. You just tell me when you just
All right, so let me.
I will throw it up when you get it up here. I have it ready to go.
Audio listeners, this might be one you need to head over to stsguys.online to get our YouTube channel.
The audio outtakes will be there, but let's go ahead.
I know, but you got. I'm thinking you need to visually see this.
We do, but you see this.
Look at that.
I'm wearing my
yes
Yutani shirt there, or the Wallace from Blade Runner.
There's a few clips. I'll play through a few of them.
Okay,
I have a couple. Here's something. I haven't listened to these either.
Great.
Oh god, they are bad. All right, let's see.
Hey everybody, this is Scott from the STS Guys. This is Jeremy from the STS Guys. And today we have a very special unboxing to do for you today. We actually have our friends over at Frisky Bridges sent us a box to open up for you.
The box is actually kind of cool because it actually it's kind of shaped like a cat on the front and then has their logo on the back.
Now, the fun thing about that is that this box actually plays on their branding. So they have 3 different levels. They have the kitty, which comes with 2 cheekies. They have the kitten, which comes with 1 cheeky, 1 thong. Kitten.
This is the one where I could not get the names of their brands right.
Hey everybody, this is Scott from the STS Guys.
Jeremy from the STS Guys.
And today we have a very special unboxing to do for you today. Our friends over at Frisky Bridges sent us a package for us to open up for you. And we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of.
As you can see, the front of their package actually kind of looks like a cat, kind of pulling off their logo, and they actually have their business name on the back. Really kind of creative marketing in regards to your actual packaging of their items.
So, right, so with Frisky Bridges, they actually have 3 different types of packages that you can order per month.
They have the kitten, which is 2 pairs of cheekies. They have the kitty, which is a pair of cheekies and a thong. Or they have the cougar, which is 2.
Almost had it.
Almost had it.
Almost.
Power through. Keep it. No shamu.
No shamu.
No shamu.
No show.
No shamu.
No shamu, yeah.
You. Well, it doesn't matter if you give it because it won't stabilize, so it's fine. You can give it all the fuck you want.
No, because you. All right, we're rolling. Ready? Action.
Hey everybody, this is Scott from the STS Guys.
Jeremy from the STS Guys.
And today we have a very special unboxing to do for you. Our friends over at Frisky Bridges have sent us a package to open up for you.
The back of their box actually has looks like a play on the actual cat logo, with the actual other side of the box with the actual logo.
Now, this is a monthly subscription box, so they have 3 different types. We're not sure which one they sent us.
The 3 different types of pocket packages that they have the kitten, which is 2 pairs of cheekies. They have the kitty, which is a thong and a pair of cheekies, or the cougar, which is 2 thongs.
So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Let's see which one that we got here.
All right, so we have a thong so far.
So one light blue guy here. Move it in a little bit closer.
We have a thong so far.
And this one actually has a tag on it here, and it comes with a suggested retail price of $10. Now, this is actually pretty nice quality for what I was expecting.
Actually, pretty nice. Looks like we actually got the kitty package because we have a pair of cheekies as well. Retail price on these is $15. So as you can see, those. Really nice quality. Something that
Oh, of course. Same for me, especially 22 pairs for $14. Going to most stores, you're never going to get a price that's good.
So the retail price on both these, according to their tag, would be $24. You're getting these for $14 every month. Really awesome deal. Like I said, and it's straight to your door every month.
Now, we can save you a little bit, though, to drop that $14 down a little bit. If you go ahead and enter the coupon code FBSTS, you can save yourself 50% off of your subscription.
If you want to actually use that code and buy the subscription for yourself, go to shopfriskybridges.com. Use that coupon code FBSTS to shave yourself 50%.
Shave yourself.
Yeah, we're from the guys. Signing out.
That's great.
That way. Oh yeah, a little more over.
The setup was
pretty
the best. That was the one that we ended with.
Yes, guys.
Today we have a very special unboxing to do for you today. Our friends over at Frisky Bridges have sent us a box for us to unbox for you.
Now the actual package actually kind of plays off their logo and actually shaped like it does.
There's one of them we're just like, fuck.
Yes, guys.
Jeremy from the STS Guys.
And today we have a very special unboxing to do for you today. Our friends over at Frisky Bridges has sent us a package.
Well, as you can see, so the back of the box actually plays off their logo as the cat. The other side of the box actually has their logo.
So now this is a monthly subscription box. We're not actually sure which one they have sent us. They actually have 3 different packages they could send. They have the kitten, which is 2 pairs of cheekies. The kitty, which is a pair of cheekies for the
Oh.
Well, we have to do that because we're all taking a look. Right, dude. We kind of threw him in a wall. We thought we were done, so we're like, just fucking throw him back in the box.
No, I can't. Oh my Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Of course, you know I would.
My favorite part is where you guys had the thong out. You're like, this is nice quality. This is pretty good. Yeah,
Check out the suggested retail price.
You know the one that actually we got through the whole thing. That was probably take 15 or 20. There was a lot of them where like, it's a box of fuck, and we just walked away. Oh,
good times.
Jeremy, thank you for bringing that. Especially, I forgot about the dance and the whole me yelling at you, no Shamu, because you kept
no Shamu. Because I remember just taking a drink and then I was talking about the underwear and just spit out.
He spit it out every time. So I was like, no Shamu.
Oh, that's great. That's classic, Jeremy.
Ed, to be fair, I don't know if it was recorded, but there was a point where Jeremy and I both had those on our head.
Yes.
So
I remember that too.
That was gold, Jeremy.
Thank you for bringing that in, Jeremy. I am so glad that you found it and you brought that to us.
Yes.
Our first attempts at commercialization, and the point where we realized we're not good at that at all.
Well, at least not for women's underwear.
No, not for in general. I realized that we should stay away from it.
To be fair, for a first sponsor, you guys had quite the challenge there.
That is true.
I think you know what we needed. We just needed the power of Nate.
We did.
Yes,
we probably could have nailed those women's underwear.
Or you know what?
I feel like I would have made that way more creepy.
No, at the time, that guy isn't doing anything. We could have probably got the ShamWow guy to come out and do that. Like I'm sure you give him a little bit of crack and he would come out and do it. So
ShamWow.
Yeah, just give him a hooker to beat and some crack and he's fine. So
Speaking of shilling,
I was going to say
Speaking of ShamWow.
Speaking of hookers,
apparently you can still go to Shop Frisky Britches and enter code FBSTS, and you're going to save 10% off your order. Get yourself some women's panties for that lovely lady in your life.
Get them cheekies.
Get them cheekies. Songs.
Cougar.
I like that.
After you do that, you should check us out on all the social media. You can follow us on Instagram at STS Guys. You can follow us on Twitter at STS Guys, and we're on Facebook at the STS Guys. And I'm Larry from the STS Guys.
Show them like a villain.
And then you should go to shumistore.com and get yourself some Funko Pops. That's right. They've got all the new Mandalorian Pops that were just announced this week available for pre-order. So Star Wars fans, go to shumistore.com, enter code STS Guys, and you're going to save 10%.
But Larry, I don't need toys. I need new apparel.
You do, Scott. Well, you can go to Animated Apparel Company and get yourself a brand new t-shirt. And if you enter code STS Guys, you're going to save 10% and get free shipping. Animated Apparel Company. It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best.
What else do we like? Oh, I like other podcasts.
Ooh.
You guys should check out Talkin' Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance, Four Dorkspin, DC Figures and Collectibles Podcast, Secondary Heroes, Geek Together. Am I missing anybody?
Toy Photographers
Podcast. I was going to say, the one that we're on.
Toy Photography Podcast. Oh, yeah. And the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, where we had special guest Jeremy from the STS Guys.
What?
Talking about Die Hard for Christmas.
About Die Hard for episode 10.
Which, by the way, I realized there is a Christmas movie that we missed. For next year, we're doing it. Eyes Wide Shut. Christmas movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that, so that sounds great.
Exactly.
You gotta do Jingle All the Way at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's if we do the bi-weekly thing.
That one's a little rough because it's also 1996, which hits outside of our 1995 rules.
Yeah, that's true.
Exceptions are okay.
There are some exceptions. We were going to make for Jingle All the Way, but Jeremy brought up Die Hard, and we had to go with that.
I would say Die Hard's a better first choice.
Die Hard was appropriate, and I hadn't seen it.
What?
I thought I had. At least I hadn't seen all of it.
And Nate, I said I don't know if you listened to the episode yet, but Larry gave it 5 out of 5.
I did.
Oh my god!
5 out of 5.
Larry,
it's one
great movie.
He's given a couple of 5s on Totally Rad.
I have,
which is weird. I don't.
Well,
every
Larry,
time he busts out a 5, I'm like, oh shit.
Like, to be fair, from what I've seen from Larry, he prefers the classics over the new stuff.
Any movie that still holds up, Larry's going to give a 5 out of 5.
If it's modern, he might not like it.
Yeah, right. If it's new, I'm way overthink it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But so Happy New Year to everybody listening. Thank you guys for checking out our podcast. Special shout out to Vin, who got married this weekend.
So congrats, bro,
dude.
Congrats, Vin.
Get your new bride some frisky britches.
Yeah.
All the cheekies.
Get them
or the thongs. Whatever she likes, man.
Just don't get her the cougar. That might send the wrong message.
Yeah.
Gotta keep her happy.
2 thongs.
Yeah, let's do 2
thongs.
Okay,
well,
no, you got to do the one cheeky one thong for say. You got
that's
good.
That's the gift,
bro.
Yeah.
She will thank you. Let's just go. Let's just move on from there.
Let's be fair. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, let's say you will thank yourself for that gift.
Thank God for frisky britches.
Yes. All right. For God's sakes, Jeremy,
take us out, Jeremy.
So, for episode 116 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
I've been Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.